Let me see. The stupid question I'm going to have for you has to do with the country of Jamaica. Jamaica, there are two United States. There are two states that are smaller than the island of Jamaica. Name them both. 215-263 WMMR. All right, let's see if you know the answer. The two states that are smaller than Jamaica. 215-263 WMMR. Birthdays today. Several of them. We're going to start with the biggest one on my list. In my personal opinion, I think, Steve, you would agree too. It's Mel Brooks' birthday.
Yes. Legend.
And it's a big one for him. He's 95.
The Inquisition.
Yeah.
Let's begin the Inquisition.
Look out, Sam.
We have a mission to convert the Jews. We're going to teach them
Wrong from right.
We're going to help them
See the light.
and make an offer that they can't refuse.
That the Jews just can't refuse.
I have not seen History of the World Part 1 in a long time.
I
need
quote it
to
all the
watch
time.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like of the latter Brooks stuff, even hit and miss Mel Brooks is still a really good time. You know, I mean,
I loved it.
Like, yeah.
And
It was
even
supposed to be a second.
I know, and they tease it at the end.
Yes.
They do Jews in space, Hitler
Right,
on
yeah,
ice,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
these
yeah,
other
yeah.
little things that they show, a Viking funeral.
Right.
But I don't know if that was the intention of to actually make a movie or they were just having fun with it. You know?
There was apparently,
Okay.
despite the end thing, which was done as a joke, but
Yeah.
they were going to, because there's a bit more history to cover.
Yeah.
You guys like the producers?
I love it.
I haven't
It's a
seen it in
masterpiece.
so long.
I know, me too. I was just thinking, like, and there's been remakes, and then Broadway, and then back to big screen again. So,
And that was a tough one because, I mean, that's earlier on in Mel Brooks. If you want to see, there's a very funny movie he directed and wrote called The 12 Chairs with Dom DeLuise and Frank Langella, and it's really good, and it's based on an old Russian story. But he has stuff going all the way back, and the producers, when it came out, was considered outlandish. Like, how could you do that?
Right.
And it was great.
Right. So the great Mel Brooks turns 95 years old today. Watch a Mel movie if you can.
That's where Blue Blanket comes from, the producers.
Yes, from the producers.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. We also have Kathy Bates celebrating a birthday today.
Didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car!
Yes.
For
Chris is-
Oscar-winning performance.
As Annie Wilkes, I think
Yeah.
was her name, in Misery. Yeah. She turns 73 years old.
I'm having a brain fart, but what's the other King Doris...
Dolores Claiborne.
Dolores Claiborne, which
That's
is
right.
an underrated movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've thought about reading that book. That's one of the King books that I haven't gotten to, but it's a really down story.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll eventually get to it. But she was great in that
Really
movie.
good.
Danielle Brisebois. She was in the band New Radicals. That's correct. But she also was in All in the Family.
Little
She played
girl.
little Stephanie.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And on Archie's Place.
That is correct. And then she appeared in Knots Landing. I wasn't aware of that, but she turns 52 years old today, Danielle Brisebois. It's also John Cusack's birthday today. John Cusack turns 55 years old.
You must chill! You must chill!
That's when the guy wants to get his keys back from, he's the designated driver, and
He's in so much of that stuff that I love from that era, and that's why. But yet he apparently kind of turned his back on it. That's why it was good to see him in the Hot Tub Time Machine movies. It was almost like, okay, I'm cool with this now, you know?
So John turns 55 today. It's John Elway's birthday
John
today.
Elway.
Former quarterback turns 61.
made more money selling cars than he ever did as a quarterback.
Did he
Yeah,
really?
He's got a ton of car dealerships out in Colorado, and
Okay.
he's just made a mint doing
He's
that.
got a restaurant at the airport.
Yeah.
I've seen that while I've been there. I think it's just called Elway's.
Yeah.
But no kidding. He's made more in the car business than he did as a quarterback.
That's why those endorsement deals are so important.
Yeah, he's like Piazza out there. You know, there's Mike Piazza
Right.
car dealerships all over the Delaware Valley, Elway in Colorado.
Okay.
He's the one who came up with roasted as a tagline.
Roasted.
Yeah.
Marketing genius, that guy.
Yeah. I need something that's cooking related.
Uh-huh. How about roasted?
The two at the top of the list now are pureed and roasted.
I think
Go with roasted.
Roasted.
I like that.
I like it.
Write it down.
John Elway, 61. Mary Stuart Masterson, the actress.
Yeah, she's great.
I haven't seen her in anything in a long, long time. It doesn't mean she's not acting. There's so many things out
just
there.
means
I
that
don't
everything
know.
she's in stinks.
I don't know what she would have been in as of late.
Stinks!
But I tell you what I loved her in is Some Kind of Wonderful.
She's awesome.
I love that movie. That movie has always been a favorite of mine.
Shall we spoil it? She gets the guy.
Okay, she gets a guy. But yeah, and then what was the movie that she was in with Sean Penn? At Close Range.
Yeah, she's really good.
It was a good movie too.
Yeah, she's very good.
It was a messed up movie, but she turns 55 years old today. She been in anything lately?
Yeah,
Nick?
she's still working. So there was a TV show that I don't know called Blind Spot. She was in that for 4 or 5 seasons, and then
Is that the tattooed one?
I think it's she wakes up tattooed, and she's like, no, it's not her, but this other woman is like a secret agent.
okay, yeah. So she was in that, and so she continues to work.
All right.
She's 55 today. It is also an actor named Gil Bellows' birthday today. Nick pointed him out to me. In Shawshank Redemption, he plays Tommy, Mr. Rock and Roll.
Oh, okay.
Great character in that movie.
He's in a lot of stuff.
And he has an unfortunate ending in that film.
You know what he was in? He was the love interest in Ally McBeal.
Was he?
She had the crush on him.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It was never requited.
Yeah, his character in Shawshank the book does not meet the same fate. Do you remember that, Preston? Did you read the book?
I remember there were a lot of things that were different in the book, and I don't remember what happens to him.
He ends up on Dance Moms.
No, he does not. That wasn't even around then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they literally just transfer him to another prison, and I found the impact of what happened in the movie much more impactful.
Yeah, I did like the movie better than the story. In the book, Andy, all that stuff that he finds buried that Red had left for him,
right?
Or that the other way around, that Andy had done that before he went to prison. He left all that stuff for himself.
So the puppy didn't fare well.
No, the puppy didn't do well at all.
No, what is this?
He left the water ran out.
There's a bunch of bones in a bag.
But
that's the puppy.
He had buried all that stuff for himself before he went to prison because he had a feeling he was going to be busted. Yeah, it was interesting.
Wow. Actually, that's kind of...
But the movie, it does it so well.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. So Gil is 54. And then the last birthday, it's Elon Musk's 50th birthday today. I thought he was older than 50 years old.
So did I.
Yeah.
Best known as a guest host on SNL, and then, of course, Tesla.
Right. He does shine in different ways.
Right.
But
he is, to me, is the heir apparent to the kind of Steve Jobs sort of mythology that we haven't had in a while.
And what's his squeeze's name? His girlfriend? They're not married, are they?
No.
Halsey? Is that her? No, that's a guy.
Not Halsey.
No, Halsey's a girl.
Is it her?
Yeah.
Grimes.
Yes.
Grimes, Halsey.
Yes.
Halsey Grimes.
Little Yachty.
Yeah, Lil Yachty as well. Let's throw one of those in there. All right. Anyhow, he is 50 today, Elon Musk. All right, we'll see if somebody knows the answer to the stupid question this morning. There are 2 states that are smaller than the island of Jamaica. What are they? 215-263 WMMR. I'm going to go to Jackie. See if we can get the answer. Jackie, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Jackie, I need the 2 states smaller than Jamaica, please.
Delaware and Rhode Island.
You got it.
Delaware seems appropriate, right, Preston?
Yes, it does. Hang on a second, Jackie. We are going to set you up. We're going to give you a digital download of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You can celebrate 50 years of pure imagination with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Feast your eyes on the sweet treats and whimsical magic like you've never seen it before. You can own it now on digital 4K and Ultra HD. And yes, Bob Marley actually lived in Wilmington, Delaware for a little while.
Yes, he did.
It's a pretty wild story. All right, we'll go through the box office take of the weekend. Well, the blockbuster's finally back. $70 million for F9. That's a pretty big take.
Yes. So far, post-pandemic, it's the biggest take of them all, right?
Yeah. So no surprise there. And for perspective, the second place film, A Quiet Place 2, made $6.2 million. So
I still want to see that.
Huge difference. Me too.
I think I'm going to end up seeing it. I wanted to see it in the theater, but I'll probably end up seeing it at home because I think it will be available in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, then Peter Rabbit 2, Cruella, The Conjuring 3, In the Heights was number 7, followed by Spirit Untamed.
I watched In the Heights.
Oh, you did?
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who could have an issue with it.
Number 9 was 12 Mighty Orphans, and then the top 10 was rounded out by Nobody.
You know, I was reading a bunch of the reviews, Preston, and for F9, and even the most. I enjoy the series. It's crazy, but every one of the reviews said, okay, now it's just a superhero movie. Like,
really?
it's so over the top that, and many of the critics who had been supporting the series up to now say, Okay, you lost me now. It's
What you should do is
it's too much.
Watch the first one,
Right.
and then F9 back to back and go.
This is a sequel.
What happened in between? Yeah.
How did we get here?
Yeah. All right, so some stories to run by you. We'll start with Prince Harry. He has returned to the UK ahead of the unveiling of a statue in honor of his late mother, Princess Diana.
I'm back.
At Kensington Palace on July 1st is when that's coming up.
Is anyone home?
Would have been her 60th birthday. Meghan stayed in California with Archie and Lilibet. Rumors and speculation on the current status of Harry and the rest of the feuding royals accompanied the news. And, of course, Diana would not have approved of the way Harry and Brother Prince are arguing. Many do speculate that.
It'd be terrible. And with that in mind, maybe they can patch things up.
Yeah, I would hope so. And with that, I saw a teaser story that I think William was kissing someone or something like
Yes.
that. Did you catch that story?
Who is he kissing?
Like an aide or something along those lines?
Yeah.
But I didn't really. I'm kind of bored
Kathy
with this
Bates.
crap. He was making out with Kathy Bates.
I'm a big fan of Misery. I've often fantasized about.
And here's another bit of information. Prince Charles apparently will not strip Archie and Lilibet of their royal titles. Rumors assert, despite previous indications, that he would consider it.
I tend to think we get a lot of misinformation. Yeah.
And according to an insider, they said, I don't think he will make the unpopular, hostile move of removing the royal status of his grandchildren. And then you have basically people just comment on this
Absolutely. I
stuff.
feel
These experts.
extract from the royal titles because of this point in time.
Agreed, sir.
Exactly.
So,
Why would you do that anyway?
hang on a second. What does it say? Oh, Prince William promised to give a 96-year-old woman a kiss once. The rules relaxed more during his mini tour of
There you
Scotland.
go.
So that was it.
would like a lot of tongue, please. You misunderstood. You were thinking of a more provincial kiss where I was looking for something more sexual.
Hey, she's 96, man.
Oh, I guess so.
She can ask for whatever she wants.
All right.
Open.
Give me more. Give me more tongue.
Gross.
Dear God, woman, I can taste your pancreas.
That's how deep he went? Or there was bile coming up?
Bile. You know what? You don't know what's bubbling in that old fuselage.
Khloe Kardashian fans are afraid that Tristan Thompson is trying to win her back.
Stop it!
Through social media after he commented on a recent Instagram post with heart emojis.
Queen.
This comes on the heels of
Roasted.
news. I knew it. I knew it. This comes on the
Don't you roasted me.
on the heels of news. Tristan reportedly slipped into a bedroom at a Bel Air party with 3 girls. The post was in celebration of her hitting 158 million followers.
Oh, God.
I think if you want to show that you are serious about a relationship, you don't go and off and do things with lots of other women in bedrooms. That's my take.
Tristan and Khloe split up for the second time over his history of cheating. Khloe reportedly ended things, but according to reports, is reconsidering a romance with him
God
again.
almighty.
But they had a celebration because she made it to 158 million followers.
Of course they did. Well, now she's at 159.
Oh,
Nick.
well,
Look at
more
that.
champagne. Let's
Let's do it.
I was watching. Did you watch Family Feud last night? So they had this JoJo Siwa and this the dancer. She was early in. She does all the TikTok dance moves. One of them had Preston 112 million followers, and Steve Harvey goes, $1 from each of those.
Yeah.
$1.
And you're set for life.
And JoJo Siwa, who I found extraordinarily annoying, but she was energetic. But she's like from the Dance Moms sort of thing. The amount of like 2-3 billion views on YouTube videos, amazing.
Is it this Charlie girl?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's really cute.
I've
Yeah, she
never heard
is.
of her, but she has 150. All right, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyhow, a source told Us Weekly, Khloe still loves Tristan and honestly would take him back in a heartbeat, but that's not happening anytime soon. They spent pretty much 24/7 together, and now that she broke up with him, they're not around each other.
Is he the only man on earth, for Christ's sake?
She's trying to just adjust and transition into being friendly co-parents and separate her emotions from him.
See, the original time when they did it and they patched it back up, it made sense because she said she wants to have another kid that's a sibling, and do the deal. It made sense. But now, after this, he had an opportunity to establish his fidelity, and he screwed it up.
Oh, yeah.
How many times did you go to that well?
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Their rationale. I guess there's a circle of people, And when you have that much money and fame, it's hard to go outside of that circle because maybe you can't trust other people, you know, ulterior motives.
And that's the most confounding.
You'll allow them to sleep with 3 women at a time.
Right.
They'll go 3 deep and you're fine with it.
Oh, you should only been with 6 other people.
I don't even want to report on this.
Go ahead.
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox were styling on a night out in L.A. over the weekend.
Ooh, what were they
The couple
wearing?
were photographed leaving the Whiskey A Go-Go in West Hollywood following a Youngblood concert. Kelly and Youngblood first teamed up on Kelly's 2019 album, performed a cover of Oasis' Champagne Supernova. A video posted online showed them that they met up with Youngblood at one point in the evening. So there you go. They went out. Are we all happy now? We all better?
Listen, and we're obviously very tied into their life and want to find out what's going on every weekend.
This is better. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are continuing to enjoy their romance. And I don't mind reporting on seeing these guys out just because, I don't know.
Where do you want to go for dinner?
Sushi.
Raw fish? How about a thick steak?
On Friday night, the Lovebirds.
Tell me, do you like your thick steak to bleed? It will.
On Friday, the Lovebirds date night at Beverly Hills at Toro. Said they enjoy Mediterranean food in a private dining room.
Now, I love Mediterranean food, and I would love to meet both these guys.
And Ben looked amazing. Said, in a great mood. Ben said always looks very happy when he is with Jen.
He's high.
The pair were
high on her.
We're engaged in 2002. Could you imagine in that voice? I'm having a great. This is so much fun.
This is great.
Yeah.
Are you going to finish that? Tell me. Are you finished that?
I will.
I don't want it. I'm full.
You won't.
The pair were engaged in 2002. Of course, they split in 2004. Now they're going back out.
I would like to see this reach a full conclusion where, they weren't right the first time. Now romance and it's eternal, and they get back together, and it's a good thing.
And then, did Rod have kids? Was it her and Michael Anthony?
Her and Michael Anthony.
Michael Anthony.
From Van Halen?
Michael Anthony from Van Halen. Yeah.
No, from
David Lee Roth.
Mark
Anthony.
Yes. And Julia C.
So they have kids.
Yes, they had the twins.
So let's say Ben and she imagine the get-togethers that would happen with her, Ben, Mark Anthony, Jennifer,
Garner,
all this. That's a pretty high.
That's a high profile
gathering.
Wait, she had.
Who wants hot dogs and who wants French?
She had
They're
children.
the same thing. What? They're the same thing. I think they are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She actually had children.
Yeah, so
she
she
had
gave
twins.
birth to twins, fraternal Maximilian David and Emmy Maribel, with Mark Anthony back in 2008.
You totally forget it because obviously so much has happened.
Yeah.
And
I've forgotten who's had kids with who at this point.
This crazy world.
All right, so follow up on Allison Mack, the Smallville actress. She is speaking out as her sentencing looms. She was, of course, involved in the NXIVM cult, and in a letter addressing, quote, those who have been harmed by my actions, which accompanied sentencing guidelines recommendations for attorneys, was obtained by the Hollywood Reporter. Mack wrote, it is now of paramount importance for me to say from the bottom of my heart, I am so happy. I threw myself teachings of Keith Raniere, everything I had. Worship was leading me to a better, more enlightened version of myself. I devoted my reason, and ultimately my life to him. This was the biggest mistake of my life. She'll be sentenced on 30th, so it's coming up in a couple days.
And she could be looking up, but she did provide evidence that helped condemn him. So she might get her deal.
She definitely get consideration. That's what they're prognosticating. So we'll see. General Hospital and Kelly Clarkson won big at the Daytime Awards on Friday.
Hey!
Cheryl Underwood to the pre-table, which aired on CBS, distributing trophies. The show featured tributes to Regis Philbin, Larry King, and Alex Jack.
Listen, I wish I did with but I'm dead. But to everyone who gets awarded, it means a lot. I'm not holding it against you. Waited until I passed. But seriously, it's everything.
With the Emmy wins, it looks like will probably when they slide into that Ellen spot,
Oh, well, they said that's there.
So
And that's every time that ever happened.
yes, that she
One
into
time
the
a
Ellen
joke.
slot. So I was getting a bit of the Ellen show. She still does a solid job.
So good.
I really
Love
could
her.
stay. I don't think there's, but I guess she's had enough.
Well, she said,
Yeah.
this is what she said, but
Yeah.
she's going to hang it up after 19 years or how
Yeah,
long?
she
And
does
so-
a good show. Kelly Clarkson thing seems, pretty light and easily digested.
Yeah. All right, we have some with this. You can count Bill Maher among the many who hope Quentin Tarantino's movie career doesn't end after his next film. The host of Time did his best to convince the actor that things don't have to end for him in Hollywood once his next movie is out. He was on the show to promote his new Once Upon a Time in Hollywood book. Maher essentially used it as a prop to illustrate not only how much he loved the film, but as proof that Tarantino's career should be far from over. Two clips to play here.
We're waiting on them.
No problem.
But he was going on about you can't quit. You cannot hang it up now.
I agree with I love Quentin, but I have to say that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favorite Tarantino movie. I just love it.
Yeah, and Bill Maher agrees.
Agree.
He calls it his peak.
Yeah.
And essentially, Quentin says, well, I'm not going to get any better from here on out. But I think the argument is you don't have to get better.
Yeah.
You just can continue to do what you do, and even a little less of what you're better is still freaking great. You're Quentin Tarantino.
Well, because also there have been missteps. Like there have been movies that I haven't like Hateful Eight. I mean, that was okay. I wasn't blown away by it, but he still has a lot of juice left.
All right, so what's the first? I have QT1 and QT2 here. One's 8 seconds long, one's 46 seconds long. Okay, all right, play the short one. Here we go. What this is all about.
I actually have considered about doing a remake of Reservoir Dogs as my last movie. I won't do it, Internet. All right, but I
So that's what he's considering as his last movie.
He
Then
says he has one movie left.
more, and then he hangs it up. All right,
Right.
and then here's Bill Maher trying to convince him not to give it up.
Your latest one is your peak. This is my favorite of all time. So what is this nonsense about you're only going to make one movie?
well,
Come on.
yeah.
Bad idea.
Well, okay. Look, it's
You're too young to quit, and you're at the top of your game.
that's why I want to quit.
How do you know it's the top?
Because I know film history, and from on end, directors do not get better.
That's a terrible idea. First of all, you're judging yourself by other people. How do you can know? You're 58?
Yeah.
58's the new 57.
No.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't see it like him hanging it up. You know what I mean? I understand maybe he needs to take a break from it for a little while, and it takes a lot of him to do a film in his way, make it perfect. But
It's out too. He has a lot of time.
much of a fan, you know.
But he does do it all. And his last speech for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was hilarious. Because when you go up there, you think all the people. He's like, but I did it also.
It was me. So, but anyway, we'll see if it remains to be true or not. One more movie from Quentin Tarantino, and he's done.
I would be bummed if this is the last.
Gentleman named John Langley. You may not know his name, but he was the creator of the television show Cops, and he died. He died in a big way, dude. He had a heart attack while racing in the Ensenada San Felipe 250 in Mexico. This is one of those Baja races. He had a heart attack in the middle of that thing. He was 78 years old. That's pretty intense doing that at 78 years old. I mean, that's not just riding on a track. That's going.
You're getting jostled all over the place.
Stuff.
He was apparently in shape, but it happened. There you go.
So Langley was participating in his second round of the off-road series championship race with his son Zach, fighting for the overall lead in the open class aboard his 50th Baja truck, suffering a heart attack at the height of the Baja racing location. It was, by the way, perhaps a little background. It was created as an alternative to scripted programming during the 1988 writer's strike. That's why it formed in the initial stage. Became a hit for Fox, following, of course, departments across the country. Ride-alongs earned 4 Emmy nominations during its early years. The show run in 2013, then on Fox, and then moved to Spike, which is now Paramount Network, while finding heavy presence in syndication. Of course, the song "Bad Boys" by Inner Circle became one of the famous TV show-themed songs of all time. Langley is regarded as one of the forefathers of reality television.
Yeah, clearly.
Cops, along with shows like Real World, which were out around that time, helped establish both the popularity of the format as well as its ability to fill network programming gaps at a much lower cost than did shows.
You know what show is huge, and they're gonna bring it back. I think it's Real PD, or where it's live. They're actually live tapped into ride-alongs around the country, and it's pretty amazing.
Through Cops, Langley also popularized the cinema verite style of filmmaking that would become the key visual style of not only the ride-along police show, but TV documentary and news filmmaking as a whole. During the latter half of Cops' run on TV, Langley said in a New York Times interview that his views on law enforcement and justice had greatly changed since he first started filming the police in the 1980s. While he denied claiming that Cops was exploiting the people that it filmed to be arrested, he felt that America should move to a philosophy of rehabilitative justice. So he was 78 years old, and huge impact on how television was done.
Yeah,
cheaper and entertaining programming.
Well, he's not doing what he liked.
Yeah, I guess so, right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go out doing something exciting,
Some kind of pop art.
Right.
He was doing loving the race.
Yep. HBO Max is making the first 2 seasons of the Chris Rock Show available to subscribers starting now. The original show aired on HBO from 1997 to 2000. It was sketches, social commentary, celebrity guests, including Prince, George Carlin, Jesse Jackson, Whoopi Goldberg, Missy Elliott, Salt and Pepper. That's pretty wild. Yeah. So if you have HBO Max, you can catch that starting now, the Chris Rock Show for 2 seasons. And then, final story, Samuel L. Jackson, Danny Glover, Elaine May, and Liv Ullmann will all receive honorary Oscars this year on January 15th, 2022, it is. And according to the Academy President, David Rubin, he said, "We are thrilled to present this year's Governor's Awards to 4 honorees who have had a profound impact on film and society."
So he said Samuel Jackson, Liv Ullmann, and who else?
Danny Glover and Elaine May.
That's amazing.
He said, "Samuel Jackson is a cultural icon whose dynamic work has resonated with genres and generations and audiences worldwide, while Elaine May's bold, uncompromising approach to filmmaking as a director and actress reverberates as loudly as ever with movie users. Ullmann's bravery and emotional transparency has gifted audiences with deeply affecting screen portrayals, and Danny Glover's decades-long advocacy for justice and human rights reflects his dedication to recognizing our shared humanity on and off screen."
Elaine May's from Philadelphia.
No kidding.
Yeah, he wrote Ishtar, which many people consider to be the worst movie of all time. Fun fact, my mom was at the premiere of that movie and sat behind O.J. Simpson and Cole Brown.
Shut up.
Wow.
What was she doing at the premiere?
My aunt lives in Los Angeles, and Susan somehow got an invite and invited my mom, and they got dressed to the nines, and they sat behind O.J. and Nicole Brown.
Ishtar's not as bad as
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's not as bad.
I thought it was fun.
It's got its moment.
Yeah. It's not a good movie, but
much line.
There's some fun. Charles Grodin's in it.
Yeah, come on.
He's great. And by the way, Danny Glover has done anything in a while. Can you look that up? So I'm curious if he still actively works. I would imagine he does. Probably not that often.
He's done commercials for that condition makes you laugh and cry. Probably that's the last thing I've seen.
Years ago that came out. No, he's still cranking about things that I'm not all that familiar with.
You know what? He's in a movie that I really love.
Oh, he was in Jumanji Next Level, which I didn't see, so I know that.
Did you see Grand Canyon?
I did.
Love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
It's a great ensemble too.
His storyline in particular is really great.
Kevin Kline,
right?
And there's a number of really good actors and actresses that are in that movie. Yeah. All right, let's get to the clips. In the Forever Purge. Is this?
Yeah, it's the Purge, but guess what? It's forever.
Thugs from a drug cartel keep the murder station by chasing down a couple. And in this clip, producer James DeMo talks about what he did to make the movie stand out from this here.
This has to be a whole new ballot that we could show the audience that we've done different. Because that's my thing. I don't want to idea of just re-entering another purge. Well, they've seen that now. They've 4 movies with 12-hour purges, and it's a night of lawlessness. Well, how do you one up on lawlessness? Well, there's one law to the purge, which is the purge ends.
Don't give a
The Forever Purge comes out in theaters this Friday, by the way.
I watched them all. It's kind of like those Saw movies.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give this an.
The first Purge I really liked. It was a great. The plot was really cool. Second one with Frank Grillo was
great.
really, really good.
I
and I thought the other one was pretty good as well. I did not see the fourth one.
What was the third one's?
He was protecting a senator.
Okay.
And
Frank Grillo.
And so you plot conceit.
Next clip. In no sudden move, John Hamm plays Joe Finney, a detective tracking down an